Back to international news. The man known as Egypt's Jon Stewart turned himself into police today. Satirist and TV host Bassem Youssef was wanted by authorities for allegedly insulting Islam and President Mohamed Morsi, and is raising worries about press freedom in the country. Nala Ayed recently did an interview with Bassem Youssef and is following the story for us in Cairo. And Nala joins us now on the phone. So, Nala, just tell us more about Bassem Youssef's type of humor and how he got himself into trouble here.
Well, Nancy, Bassem Youssef sort of single-handedly created sort of the late-night funny talk show, which did not really exist before the revolution happened here in Egypt. And so he's really focused on people in power, obviously, and he sees it as his job to go after people like the President Morsi. And so the show is, in fact, inspired and was modeled after Jon Stewart's The Daily Show. And so, you know, it's sort of a routine where he takes bits of the news and then makes commentary on that. And he says he's just an ordinary person who, he says, like Jon Stewart, likes to throw spitballs at people. That's how he described it when we spoke to him. And so what he's done from the beginning is focus specifically on, although he talks about the opposition and some of the politicians of the opposition, he really has gone after Islamists. He often has criticized their view of liberal or secular Egyptians who are perhaps less religious, but not as, but just as interested in keeping the reputation of the religion. And so he's gone after the president, and there have been several complaints from the beginning from many people saying that he has been insulting the president. For example, for putting a picture of the president on a red pillow that he constantly hugged throughout the show, and people felt that this was insulting to the president. And so a lot of these charges had been dropped. This is the first time that he's actually been summoned, and there have been at least a couple of dozen complaints. These ones stem from a March 1st show, where people found some of the commentary he made about the president and an interview he had done that was delayed for hours as being exceptionally insulting. So that was one. And the second is also an insult to Islam, which, again, he seems to take Islamists to task on their interpretation of religion. And obviously, in their minds, they feel that what he says is an insult to religion.
So presumably he has quite a following. So what's been the public reaction to first authorities wanting to detain him, and now that he's turned himself in?
Well, I mean, he's got a massive fan base. I mean, he's probably one of the most popular people in this huge country of 85 million, and certainly one of the most popular in the region. I mean, Nancy, imagine this. He has about 1.2 and growing million Twitter followers. He's got more than 2 million likes on Facebook. So this guy has a lot of fans, and they're not happy, I can tell you that. There were dozens of people who gathered at the courthouse where he was to be questioned today, starting last night when the announcement was made, to protest the decision. And certainly it's being seen by many activists and even politicians who've been tweeting and talking about this as a test for the freedoms that Egyptians believe they gained after the revolution, this case. And so having been released on 15,000 Egyptian pounds bail is encouraging to some people here. They find that, they believe that's good news, but still he's going to have to answer to these charges, and people believe that are trumped up and believe that it sort of exposes a weakness on the part of the regime and the Islamist organizations, that essentially that they cannot take humor. And a lot of people have been saying, on Twitter and on Facebook and that kind of thing, that, this is a test not only of the government's ability to allow freedom of expression, but also of its ability to have a thicker skin and to accept that people will criticize when pushed.
Yeah, it's a very interesting story, and as you say, quite the challenge for the regime. We'll definitely follow all developments. Nala, thanks for the update. Nala Ayed in Cairo.